Hey, this is Tamago. Welcome back to another episode of Create Arcane Engineering with the Scavengers. Last time around, we got started in this building area, got better Tinker's tools, as well as gotten started in Create. This time around, we're going to continue on with Create, finishing off the first chapter of the questbook semi-automatically. The automation will come later around. It is much easier to get a manual setup first and then do the automation, instead of trying to do the automation from the get-go. Today will unfortunately be a solo episode because the other scavengers are not available this time around, but hopefully they'll be back next time. But regardless, I hope you enjoy today's video. Alright, we're almost out of diorite, so it's probably a good idea that we get the alloy scanner before we start and try to find another one of those buckets, because that seems to be how it works here. It's very cheap, just some iron and some sticks. Alright, here it is. That's a lot of quests. How does this work actually? I think you have to right click it, the ground. Okay. Andesite found at X69, Y49, and Z negative 103. Okay. Let's try to find another one that's hopefully closer. Oh yeah, anyway, we need diorite, not andesite. I think we still have enough of that. But yeah, here is two of them here at Y29. So X20, Z negative 72. Okay. So it's basically around here, but we just need to build upwards, so let's give that a go. Alright, I just grabbed some ladders. Let us build upwards. There's already a cave here. Actually, I think a better idea is to not make a mess over here. We should just go up on the side here, on the wall, and then we could just bridge over, or not bridge over, just dig over to wherever the blob is. Okay. There's always some vines here as well, so we don't have to place that too many ladders. And it's a water cave. Isn't that amazing? Okay, let's clean this up. All right, we're almost there, guys. Oh boy. Okay. Just a bit more. There we go. We should be good to go. Sweet. Okay, now we just have to keep going until Y30, I believe. It says in chat. Yeah, 32. Oh. Good that good that ladders block off the gravel from falling onto us. Yeah, that's plenty of gravel. Oh, here's some more. Okay. I should have expected that, I suppose. And a bit of scoria from Create. Alright, we're at 33 now, so let's try to head off to the side here and figure out which direction we need to go in. Alright, there you go. I think I'm starting to see the diorite. We just have to clear out all of the gravel around the area. There's a lot of it. And here comes the water. I do know there's water because of the sounds, but we'll see. Okay, I guess that's where all the mossy cobblestone's coming from. And would you look at that? We're at the surface. I didn't expect it to be this close to the surface, but sure, you know, that's some of the andesite we need. Okay, and a lava pocket as well. Interesting. All right, and that brought us some rewards, some andesite, and another engineer's toolkit, which is our reward box thingy. So we'll just put that away for now because we cannot enchant it. Next up, I want to create spout, pun not intended, so that we could do a bunch of the fluid recipes as needed. So to do this, we need a spout, of course, and also an item drain, both of which require a sealed machine. So we'll be making two of those. So copper casing is just right-clicking, that with copper instead of andesite alloy. And the sealed mechanisms are just the mechanisms with some cured rubber. But actually, before we do that, I think we should just get a resin set up properly so that we could easily make rubber more quickly, because this is passive anyway. So let's make an arboreal extractor using an andesite machine and a bucket. So we need to make 8 of these kinetic mechanisms again, the makeshift ones. All right, we got our stack of andesite alloy after mixing up enough of those. And the strip blocks go there. And there is 16. We need 8 more, actually. But for now, we should be good to go to make an andesite machine. And then we'll make another bucket, like so. And then we grab this alongside the andesite machine and put it together inside of the smithing table to make our arboreal extractor. And this thing we just placed next to a tree. So got a bit of bone meal here. I'm probably just going to temporarily place it here, I suppose. And in the future, maybe even this episode, I plan to clear this area out and dig inside to make a little workshop for Menril automation, I believe. Okay, I suppose the tree might be able to grow here. There you go. Nice. And then we just place our arboreal extractor right next to it. Oh yeah, we could also use fertilizer to boost production. Nice. And I think it's facing the right way. I hope so. But yeah, the indicator seems to be working. Yep, resin. So while this is going, I'll just do something else, namely collect some vines to make those rubber things for now. All right, I am now currently processing the vines into rubber. We're just manually putting in water over here. And we do have a stack of, not a stack, but a bucket of resin from there. It's definitely very slow, so we might have to have multiple extractors there, as well as automate this definitely in the future, so that we could get rubber passively. But yeah, here we go. So that creates 4 rubber. Yeah, we still need a bit more than this. Oh, and that was one whole pair of shears as well. So yeah, we also run through iron pretty quickly here. Okay, with just a bit more vines, I think we have enough now to make the 2 machines that we need. It's so expensive now when we don't have Menril, so how to get that up running ASAP. Okay, let's smelt these. All right, it's all smelted, so let's get all this and craft our sealed mechanisms. Actually, Menril resin isn't too hard to get. You could use a squeezer like this to make that, or you could also use, I lost it. You could also use the tree itself and also the arboreal extractor once again. Please let me show. Okay, yeah, this thing again. So a similar process. And I think we actually have some Menril logs to do this. Oh no, this guy. Yep. And that gives 1 bucket actually of Menril resin. Okay, doable I think. So let's just craft only 1 set of these first. So we keep these pieces of rubber and we'll just make 1 of the machines first, namely the spout, which is I think the absolutely necessary one. Actually no, we still need to get... No, that wouldn't work. We still need to get into the create system, so never mind. Scrap that plan. But we'll definitely be using that method from now on when we make more of these sealed mechanisms. Okay, this should hopefully be the last of the inefficient ones. Or do it the proper way, because that's not cheap at all. But here are 2 copper... No, not copper casings. Sealed machines. And I believe it was iron bars and 1 hopper. So we'll have to craft that. All right, here comes the chest. And then this. And we go to the smithing table once again to combine that into a spout and an item drain. I guess in the opposite order. Oh, you do get 2 spouts. That's kind of nice. All right. And that's actually chapter M1. Interesting. Okay, yeah, as I said, I think the create liquid stuff can go here. So the center is where all the stuff comes through. So we're going to have to place this on the side. And yeah, I do need a depot. Okay, no problem. I didn't show it last episode, but they're very simple to create actually. Just andesite casing and andesite alloy, which we already have. Great. So this can go over here, I suppose. And here comes the spout, like so. And I forgot if this requires power. I don't see anything to spin it, so maybe it doesn't. Oh yeah, it doesn't seem to need any. It seems to just be the input that needs to have power piped into it. Okay. And yeah, just to double check the tank, I think you can only put stuff in using, the pipe networks, and you cannot use a bucket to put stuff in or out. There it is. Since raw mode fluids cannot be added or taken manually. There you have it. So you need an item drain and a spout. Cool. Now, all that's left to do is just to figure out the whole wiring up. Yeah, well, let's make some fluid pipes first, shall we? As well as a tank, maybe? I'm not sure if that's expensive. No, it's okay. All right, so it's just barrel and copper sheets. Yeah, we're going to need a lot of copper. Yeah, there's even more copper plates. So might as well batch craft, like, let's say half a stack of these to start. So we put that over there and let that go. All right, back to the Menril stuff. So we need to use the squeezer from Integrated Dynamics. So let's just quickly craft this. So we need planks and a lot of iron. Oh, yeah, we got to smelt more. All right, plates are done. And I believe the iron is ready. So let's pour out 1 and also another one here. All right. And that we also... Oh, yeah, we also require some planks. So let's grab some over here. Cool. You come with me. And then we now make the squeezer. There you go. On the recipe after clicking through many things. That's an advancement apparently. Nice. And we did find some mineral trees, so we could definitely squeeze some of that. Not the trees, I mean the logs. As you can see, I cannot speak very properly today. Oh, it might be in the other chest. Oh yeah, here they are. Here's a normal mineral sapling. We also have some of the berries from chopping it down. But we also have a mineral shrub because there's a bit of a process to rejuvenate it using the berries that they drop, I believe. So yeah, that's we could get started now. So let's do the squeezer first. So I think you just throw one of this here, or you have to right click it. Let's just do only one, not the whole stack. Yeah, and then you do this. Manual stuff, right? And then, yeah, we have one bucket of mineral resin. How do I pick it up? Okay, so apparently we need an adjacent tank. This is a tank. Let's see if this works. Aha, look at it. Sweet, okay. So we have one bucket of mineral resin here. And we can throw that into this. And once we get the pipe set up, we can pipe into here. Okay. All right, we need barrels. I keep forgetting. All right, here we go. Let's craft some barrels. And then the plates go like this. Nice. And that's 8 tanks. So let's say we set it up like this, maybe. Oh gosh, that scared me. Forgot that this thing burns you. Okay, let's make the pipe, shall we? So that was like a piece of copper and this or something like that. Yeah, okay. Don't need too many for now. And we can make, oh, I guess 2 of them into these, the pumps. So we can actually pull and push stuff. So like before, let's do the approach of just placing it down first and then figuring out where it needs to go later. Yeah, I definitely need to pick up my wrench. All right, I placed the wrench here. I forgot. Oh, wow. Okay, so that goes in that direction. This goes to the top, like so. To be honest, I'm not sure if I like the look of this 2x2. It might be a bit much in this area, so we'll reduce it by 1, I think. It should be enough. And so now I could do something like that. Nice. And then this goes out this way. Let's say into here. And then into... I keep burning myself with this. And then into this. So we just need one more fluid pipe. Okay, and flip this around. And I can already see where the gears could go. Something like that. And let's make a bit more andesite casing to cover that up. So like that. And then we right click these things here. Aha. Oh, it doesn't even use them up. I didn't know that. That's cool. Okay, I've extended that into the ceiling. Now let's just put the other stuff away. Okay, and now we need to connect this to, I think the thing was here. Yeah, that's the encased chain drive. Okay, I think we can do this into a gearbox, I would think. Okay, so if I just place this down over here, like so, and then the gearbox goes here, right? That looks correct. And then we can, yeah, how do I get this encased chain drive? We might have to go down by 1, actually. Yeah, and we'll have a vertical gearbox over here, right? Yeah, that would make sense. So we need 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 more encased chain drives. Oh, we already have enough left over from last time. All right, so 1, oh, whoops, need to break that. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Ah, right, it kind of go there in this other direction. I guess we can do this. Oh, no, that doesn't work either. Okay, look, this is not ideal. But I could do something like this. There you go. And then 1 shaft here. Under pressure. Yeah, so what I did basically was I just continued routing this downwards. So down by 1 and another one by 1, but switching directions. And just connect out the shaft. Do I want to fix this? Is that the best we could do? I feel like we could do a bit better. All right, a non-ideal, but I think slightly better solution is to do this. So just go down by 1, and there you go. Yeah, that's a bit better. So it's just a single line, but we just have to go down by 1 more. And then we can cover this back up again. And apparently we still have enough SU, which is great. We might be running out though. All right. Oh, and I guess it could also be covered up by andesite casing if I can target you. Maybe not. Let's just go from here. Nice. All right, so that's the setup done. And we can definitely use our Menril Resin stuff now once we have the rubber going again. Speaking of, how is that going? we have 2 buckets. Okay, I guess we can demonstrate this. So we grab one, and yeah, we'll grab the other one later. We just put it in here. This presses it or compresses it into rubber. I think we can only do 1 bucket at a time. Okay, I collected some more vines because we were out of rubber. But yeah, we can now create a sealed mechanism with just 16 rubber instead of 32. So we just doubled our efficiency here. So nice. And yeah, we'll just have to set up a farm in this area. Maybe just a manual minerals set up there. And then we just have to do the washing and the other procedures to bring it back to a regular mineral sapling. And yeah, some ideas I have now is just having this area be very, very tall. So we have enough space for the mineral trees and these oak leaves. Oak trees, I mean. You can see that it already takes up most of the width. So I'm going to have to push this wall a bit further back. And then we can have a walkway, let's say, along this side. Or maybe just along the other side, because that's this side is closer to all of the power. Yeah, we probably have to expand the water wheels once we are out of it. I mean the stress units. We can definitely expand it this way in this direction. There's a lot of water down there. And there's nothing taking up this area yet. Okay, and that is more for rubber. 24. Okay, so let's give this stuff a try, shall we? So it says over here that it takes 100 millibuckets. Yeah, 100 millibuckets to make it into Menril Enriched Rubber. So we could do 10 of these. So I think I just place this here. Yeah. And this should bring it up into this spout. 1 bucket of it. And then can we do it all at the same time? Oh, we can, look. That's so cool. You have like 2 different stacks of things and this is the output. That's neat. So yeah, that's 10 Menril Enriched Rubber. Just like that. And that only took 1 log. So yeah, if we're doing this way, it's actually pretty nice. But yeah, ideally we're going to have a passive setup here with the resin as well. I'm thinking of putting it on this wall. I think it'll be very cool. Just imagine, right? Having the 2 trees just back here. And then we just have our spouts for all the liquids we want. But I guess right now it's just 2 and maybe only 2. It'll probably be nice to have them spaced out like this. So yeah, that's probably what we'll be working with next. Since we will be planting 2 trees over here, and especially the mineral tree, which is quite tall, we need quite a lot of vertical space. So it's a slightly different design than before, where it was just a closed ceiling. This will be a much more open ceiling, and the goal over here is to make it look like the cave naturally spawned like this. So it is naturally supporting instead of us having to support it ourselves. And because the narrative here is a more natural area, I tried to put in as much moss and other greenery as possible to make it look as natural as possible. And continuing on that idea, you see over here I am building mostly on the floor because, again, with the assumption that this is naturally generating and therefore doesn't need to be supported by us. And we just need to build walkways for us to walk on. And as finishing touches, we have moss in the ceiling, as well as torches on the wall, just to keep the mobs out for now. Hopefully they'll be replaced with something better in the future. And one more thing I did over here was set up fluid tanks for each type of resin, so that we can start collecting them. So I think the very first thing I want to do is to start piping this resin over here to this tank on the left, so that we can be collecting resin while we are doing other things. Unfortunately, the layout is not exactly elegant. Actually, no, I think this will work out just fine. We just need something pumping out of this. And this, yeah, we shouldn't shift click so it points the right way. This will point to a spout and a depot, similar setup like before. Okay, so depot goes here, spout goes over here. And now we just have to figure out all of the wiring. Yeah, this is going to be a bit tough. So just to remind ourselves, I think the power is coming in right around this area here. Yeah, there's that shaft. So we're going to have to connect it to here. And I think in this case, instead of using an encased chain drive, because we have nothing going on here, it might just be wise to use a shaft going all the way over there. So we can have a gearbox. Oh, actually, no. Hopefully it doesn't mess things up. We can have a gearbox here and here to go that way. And if it does mess the rotation up, we can remove the gear shift down there. Okay, so let's give this a go. I think we need a vertical gearbox over here. And does that spin this stuff the wrong way? Yeah, it does. Okay, we'll remove that thing down there. And then here we need a normal gearbox, a horizontal one, going in this direction. And I should hit this sooner or later. Nice. All right, here comes the line of shafts. Oh, some lag. And down here, I think we're just gonna... Oh, lapis. I want some of that. Can't get enough of blue dye, hey? So this, I can just extend downwards here. And here. And last but not least, here. Oh, and then that can connect with the shaft down there. Nice. Or I suppose maybe it's just better. Well, this is going to be annoying because that's going to block our way off. I should have used the wrench as well. Like this, for instant braking. But I think it would be better if we just line it up along here so that we can see the amount left in the tank. And this all can be covered up by andesite casing. Like so. And this one you could just extend over here. That's very nice for the other spout. Okay, now we can just connect that. And we should be going. Nice. And this needs to be extended to the other side so that we can also pull out the resin into the tank. All right, here are the gears. So they're actually called cogwheels. I keep calling them gears. Okay, let's make a couple more because we're out. And then we just connect this up here. Nice. And then we can cover this back up like so. And then we can have the andesite casing come like that. This might even be a good place to place a little bit of light. Nice. So as you can see, the orbital extractor is currently empty because it's in here. 1.15 buckets. And the rest is already funneled through here. 1 bucket of it ready in the spout. Nice. Actually, slight change of plans. I think it's a better idea for us to be placing it on the edges like so. So that we can hide the cogwheels in the wall. That's so nice, right? And more importantly, this will allow us to automatically funnel this into another place, namely the basin, so that we can make rubber automatically, passively. Because this is quite an annoying process, having to bucket one thing at a time. So it'll be nice to be able to automate it. And for now, we can move this out of the way, and we'll bring this back once we already have this stuff easily automatable. So to set this up, I think we are going to place a chest over here with a hopper running into it. And then we can have a basin, because the only things produced here would be the rubber which we want. So we do not need any sort of filtering whatsoever. And this is the part that gets slightly ugly, because there's no clean way to pipe this through here, right? Because we're going to have to go sideways. We can't go in this direction, because that's going to go into the depot. So yeah, we're just going to have to go to the side and then to the center. It's not going to be the cleanest, but it's going to work. So you have 2 foot pipes like that. And this goes in the other way. And yeah, this should be good to go. And we just have to figure out the cogwheel stuff. So it seems that we're going to need yet another gearbox, I believe. So I think if we just place one here, we should be good to go. Yeah, and then we just place 2 cogwheels here and cover it up with the andesite casing once again. Okay, let's get out of here and see what this actually looks like. Okay, sure, this looks nice. And over here, actually, we can nicely wire this up here. Aha, along this top area, utilizing the gears on as a mechanical pump. Very nice, like so. And yeah, we should be getting resin here slowly but surely. It'll take forever, but it'll come here someday, eventually. I think that's basically the automatic resin setup, at least for the rubber resin. I don't know what it's called. I think it's just called resin. And we'll set this up in a bit because the spouts are expensive at the moment. And we want to get the deployer stuff done ASAP so that we could make it the efficient way, the kinetic mechanisms. Okay, let's get to the deployer, shall we? I changed my mind a bit, and I think we're just going to do 1 deployer first. And then we're going to make the other deployers a more efficient way because it is getting really expensive. So yeah, we're just going to craft 8 of these kinetic mechanisms with a andesite casing in the center to make an andesite machine. And the deployer, I think, was made with one of the golden arms. Oh, it's brass. So andesite alloy and 4 brass sheets. I believe we have enough brass already lying around. Yeah, look at that. And here goes the brass sheets. I mean, comes the brass sheets. And then here comes the brass hand, like so. And we go to the smithing table once again to combine it into one, like so. Aha, deployer. And then I guess this can go here for now. Wrong direction. In the future, this will definitely be a conveyor belt, but for now, it's going to be a depot because we're only going to have one of these to start. Okay, now time to bring the rotational power from down over here to there. Okay, I think the solution that I'm going to go for over here will use a bunch of gearboxes, because in this area we're not going to have anything wired up here, so there's no reason to be using encased chain drives. And yeah, this is going to go up all the way over here, right? And here is where we use the encased chain drives, because we do because we do need it over here for the 3 deployers that we are going to have, and potentially more in the future. So 1, 2, 3. And there you go. There is the deployer working. And with this, we're actually able to start off making stuff the proper way. The actual kinetic mechanisms, not the makeshift ones. So we're going to have to use some of our mineral logs over here, which we thankfully have plenty of for now, to make some planks. And this will allow us to make the proper mechanisms. It's a bit makeshift for now, because we only have one. But if we just put andesite alloy on these, it should work. Nice. Artificial intelligence, sure. Oh, okay. It seems like these don't stack either, which is mildly annoying, but that's okay. And I think I should stop there. Oh, yeah, it's gonna start spewing them out, so let's not do that. And then I think if we just start right-clicking all of this, it'll eventually turn them all into kinetic mechanisms slowly. I actually forgot the recipe. I thought it was just 2 andesite alloy, is it? Oh, right, we need the saw. Okay, forgot about that. So we're just going to take our saw, place it over there. And there you go. There is our proper kinetic mechanisms. Isn't that so cool? That's quite a while for us to reach here. And yeah, I think at this rate, we probably should start ticking off the quests. So that we could actually get those rewards. Yeah, andesite alloy. Yeah, okay, we need to... oh yeah, I have some in our inventory, but we need to do it this side as well to be able to unlock this. So yeah, let's make some more spouts so that we could get that extracted. Okay, let's craft 2 more of the andesite machines. Oh, look at this now, us doing it the proper way. Finally. And then the brass hands, like so. Oh, we need to... I forgot to put this into plates. Okay, here comes the actual brass hands. These combine again over here. Trying to walk as fast as I possibly can so there's no gaps in the audio. And then I can place these in the proper way, facing downwards, like so. And those are our 3 deployers, out of sync, of course. And yeah, to have the conveyor belt, we are going to use another vertical gearbox, like so. And this is going to extend out here. And we're going to have our conveyor going end to end. And I didn't think of this, but fortunately it's spinning the right way, so that's convenient. Conveyor belts are crafted with 6 rubber, like so. Oh, they're called mechanical belts. Calling everything wrong in this mod. And there you go. There's our conveyor belts. And now we can place our chest over here. And, oh, unfortunately we do still need an andesite funnel. Yeah, it looks like this. Ah, we need another andesite machine. No problem. We can just make a couple more now that we have this. So I'll put some andesite alloy on this one, and my saw over here, which is breaking slowly. There we just throw the mineral slab one by one. And it will output that, albeit on the floor. Because we don't have a chest and funnel to pick it up yet. It's actually in a stone cutter, which is quite interesting. Yeah, we've got a lot of these. So funnels. And these can go over here. And we can have a chest over here picking up the items. Nice. Look at this. And I suppose before anyone complains about symmetry, I think it's actually nicer if we just do it like this. And then move this guy here. So it's equal now. Nice. And you also need to be covered up like so. Cool. That's our deployer setup complete. Would you look at that? Very, very nice. Okay, I think with this, it's now much easier to make a sealed mechanism. Yeah, I mean, the 8 of those, because we now have the kinetic mechanisms made in the proper way. So we actually just need a bit more. So we can just place 2 more over here, or 3 actually. And off it goes. It's so nice, isn't it? Look at that. And I miscalculated, of course. There you go. Okay. Here's the kinetic mechanisms. We have enough to make yet another machine. Or actually, no, it has to be the copper machine this time around. So I think we'll right click this with copper. Yep, the copper casing. All right, rubber is done. Now we just have to put it through the spout. So I already made a couple more buckets of mineral resin by squeezing some more mineral logs. So yeah, we can just take this into the spout and we can, oh boy. That seems to be a harmless thing, so that's good. Yeah, I forgot. You have to put it into here first. And then it will, yep, be able to go into the tank and then into the spout using the mechanical pumps. All right, here comes our last ones. And there is 16 Menril Enriched Rubber. And this comes with the Kinetic Mechanisms all in the proper way now. That's so cool, isn't it? Okay, and then we just need one hopper. Okay, here we go. Here are some more spouts. And then this can go over here, ready to put out the Menril Resin. Like so. With a depot, of course. And we're going to have our cogwheel over here and our andesite casing. And we are finally overstressed. That took quite a bit. I'm very happy that took a while. But yeah, we're going to have to expand the wheels right now. All right, I've placed the 4 additional water wheels and extended the strip logs over here. So we have double the amount of SU now. And yeah, look, it flows nicely to the water ponds below. So I don't think I intentionally planned that initially, but well, it worked out nicely, thankfully. So yep, everything is all operational now. And if the others want to do some magic stuff over here with create, then well, there's still a little more SU left to go around. And yeah, we should remove this thing since we don't need it anymore. And yeah, there you go. It's now blowing in the right direction. Okay, now that we have all that sorted out, let us get the Menril resin going. So we need to make yet another andesite machine. Oh, wait, that is not going the right way over here. Okay, I can't figure out why this is spinning the wrong way. So I'll just put in a gear shift over here and pretend that nothing happened. Let's put a hidden lever under here. And yep, that's gonna be that. Anyhow. Here comes some more of the kinetic mechanisms. It's a very fun process to watch. All right, here's some more kinetic mechanisms. All right, there's another one. Okay, and I think this can go anywhere. The base of the tree should be fine. And a mechanical pump going outside. I guess I just still have to shift click this and then I'll flip this around the right way. Once I place it down. And this goes here. And now time for the wiring stuff. You hear that bonk go. That means we are making rubber automatically. Okay, so the wire is over here. Seems like we need another gearbox going in this direction. But I think after that we should be good to go already. Okay, we got everything now. So gearbox goes over here. The shafts go over here. And oh, actually we need another cogwheel. Like so. And we are getting mineral resin. I think. Why does this not look good? Okay, I just looked it up and it seems that it has to be at the very base of the tree. So I gotta get rid of these 4 logs. Has to be at this block over here or something along those lines. So, there you go. Now it's online. And we should be getting mineral resin passively from now on, which is very nice. And yeah, let us now cover this back up. Now, with the mineral stuff, the last thing I want to do, I think, is to make a drying basin. Because this allows us to make, well, I guess a lot of stuff, including rotten flesh into leather, which is very nice. And even, oh, look at this, even clay into terracotta. No smelting whatsoever. But importantly for us, this block of crystallized mineral over here, from 1 bucket of mineral resin, this can be crafted into crystallized mineral chunks. And this we can create andesite alloys with very effectively as well, namely with andesite and the chunks. So this is double the rate before, and this is actually the renewable way to make these andesite alloys. Because yeah, if you look at the quest book, right, andesite is indeed renewable, as you can see over here, from cobblestone, which is crushed into gravel, and then smelted into andesite, which is an interesting recipe, to make andesite alloy. So yeah, we can basically do all of this already, semi-automated of course, not automating the tree chopping yet. But I think for this area, that is definitely very, very sufficient. If we're going to do the proper automation lines, we're going to have to do it somewhere else because we will need way more space. At least in this case, though, we can finally do things the proper way, save a lot of resources, and yeah, this should help us with whatever we have coming up next. Anyway, enough talking about the future. Let's make this drying basin, shall we? So we do need black dye. Goodness me, do I actually have this? Oh, we can use soot. I think there is some over there because I placed a campfire right next to it. Goodness me, those slimes are very aggressive, hey? We're gonna have to replace all of that with something better, the rich soil. Yeah, there's a bit of soot here. So is that how you collect it? How do you collect this? I have no clue. Do you use silk touch? Aha, you do need silk touch. Okay, that gives us 2. Sweet. We only need 2 black dye, so that's nice. And it accepts any logs. Okay, not just mineral logs, which is nice. Alright, here it comes. The drying basin. And I suppose because this is related to the integrated dynamic stuff, we could place it here. But I guess here would be more appropriate because it's all grouped up. Alright, I'm just adding 2 more arboreal extractors. One for this and one for this. So that we could go twice as quick. And now our bucket of Menril Resin is ready. So let's pull it out and move it into the dryer. Like so. I wonder how long this will take if there is an animation we could see. Oh, there you go. Not too bad. Mineral production. This can be changed into 9 mineral chunks. And then we can mix this up with the andesite. And this will actually create 36, right? That's 9 times 4. If I can do my maths right. That is so cool. Look at it go. 4 andesite alloy per craft. Okay, the last part of the quest book that I think I haven't demonstrated, I mean for chapter 1, is the actual mineral trees themselves. So it's not as straightforward as just replanting these because these drop more rarely than usual. In fact, it's insufficient to maintain the farm, but we have 2 to start off here. Let's just plant 1 and grow it, and when we break it, we'll see what it drops. Alright, here we go. It's a bit of an interesting shape. It's a bit hard to manually chop, and I think it will be slightly difficult to automate because the base isn't just 1 block. So we're going to have to do a bit of engineering. Let's just say it that, like the name of this pack implies, with some of the mechanical saws. There you go. That's what it's called. Hello, slime. You're the one who destroyed our entire farm. But again, problem for later. For now, we are just manually doing this. Okay. As you can see, it dropped 0 mineral saplings and 3 mineral shrubs. So we're going to rejuvenate it by giving it some water. In particular, we can wash it. Okay, so here comes the 3 mineral shrubs being washed. There you go. They become rejuvenated mineral shrubs. That's the quest. Still not done though. We need to combine it with the mineral berries, which are dropped from the tree before. Common drop, as you can see. We got 15 of them, so no problem at all. And these are combined inside of this mixing thing. Oh, we actually need 8. That's plenty. We don't have enough for all of it. I wonder if there's any other way to get this? No. Okay, that's slightly concerning. And there we go. There is the original sapling that we obtain again. Very nice. And we get a toolkit as a reward and a sapling as well. And down over here we get another toolkit, and this just shows us the process to getting the kinetic mechanisms. In particular, later when we automate it, we use this log cutting chain, it says. And I think it's actually more efficient to use the saw instead of manually crafting it. I guess that I've been doing this whole time. Yeah, we might add that as a machine. Now that we have a lot more of these and it's much easier to get stuff. Wow, our create chest is becoming full. Look at this. Oh, we do have some crystallized mineral chunks chest. I'm not sure where people got that from, but anyway, that's the quest. Like so. And it even gives us a bit more. Okay, and then we can do the Andesite Alloy quest, which we already have a lot of, as we saw before. So that's a bit more Andesite Alloy for us. And last but not least, the actual kinetic mechanisms. I don't think we have any left over, so let's just craft 1 more for the quest. That's some more kinetic mechanisms. And our first chapter. Very nice. And we even get so much more andesite casing. Engineer's toolkit. Very, very nice. Okay, let's knock out this right side over here. And yeah, pre-crafting is a natural thing in this pack, as it says. Yeah, let's just yoink a bunch of these to complete the quest. So this is one of them. This is the other one. This is another one. And this is another one. And the fan is another one, I believe. The funnel is another one. The deployer is another one. And we actually need one more thing, which is the mechanical drill, which is crafted with yet another andesite machine and a drill head like this. And the mechanical saw, which I think we will just do one more time. All right, here is the drill and the saw, very similarly crafted. Oh, we're one short. We're almost out of iron. All right, here is the saw blade, and then here comes the drill and the mechanical saw. This one, I'm not entirely sure where to place. Or actually, if you do place it like this, it is spun in this manner on the side. Will this actually work if I just manually put stuff in? I don't think we need a conveyor belt, right? I hope so anyway. I guess if I'm really lazy, I could do this. It's kind of in the way, but you know, it works, right? Ow, ow, ow. That hurts a lot. Okay, gotta be careful. But let's try to chop some logs. So do we just do this? Okay, so right clicking doesn't work. So do I have to throw it in? Oh yeah, there you go. Nice. That makes it to strip oak logs. And if I throw it in one more time, that turns into 6 oak planks. Okay, so it is quite a bit more efficient. Okay, I created a little bit of a setup here utilizing this. Getting a bit tight, but it works for now. So we put in our wood over here, I think. That spits it out over here, and that should collect it. Airport aesthetic. Nice, okay. And yeah, we could repeatedly do this to get what we want. In this case, the logs. Or planks, sorry. Nice. Actually, no. Change of plans. I'm doing it the proper way. I will do this now. So filling in this awkward slot now with something. And yeah, I'm going to wire this up over here. So we're going to need a vertical gearbox wiring it up to this. And then a horizontal gearbox like that. And a shaft. Nice. And this should be... Uh-oh. I think it has to be spinning this way, but that's okay. It shouldn't matter. Just need to change that. And this should work. Oh, no. Gotta move this one block behind now. Because, yeah, we need to be pushing it in the opposite direction of the saw. All right, so here's the andesite funnel. This is for collecting. And then this is for the dispensing over here. Nice. And that should be it. So let's try that again. Yeah, there you go. There is the wood done. Okay, cool. I like the setup much better than what we had before. And I'm sure the other scavengers would agree. Okay, let's put the item drain over there. The only disadvantage here is that it's a bit difficult to see what this actually is. But I think once the others know, it should be fine. The last item in this chapter is this over here, the Runic tablet. So we are going to need to use that on a blaze burner. So let's just make that quickly. Now this is part of the magic chapter, but we'll just quickly finish this up for demonstration purposes. So we just need to put a rune on a smooth stone slab to make a runic tablet. And we have more than one of these runes, so it should be safe. The others can still start on the magic chapter because I believe that is required to start that off. All right, here's the smooth stone. We're gonna cut it into the slabs like so. And then we will toss one of them in with the rune. And let's just remove this so we don't make a mess, just in case. Okay, this goes here. There you go. There is our rune. And we just need to activate this with the blaze burner, I believe. Right clicking it creates lightning, so let's not do that. Deploy a runic tablet onto a blaze burner. That did not work. Oh, I guess I could use the shapeless crafting here, but mysterious conversion. I don't want to waste the runes we have because we don't have too many, but now I'm curious. Perhaps we are supposed to do it where there is nothing above, so it would not get covered. Yeah, let's just try that one more time. I guess twice more. Okay. And if we place this, let's just do it above. Okay, so that make sure that I don't mess this up anyhow. Boy, I just accidentally right-clicked that when I was trying to open the door. I'm sorry. Okay, well, we need at least one rune, okay? So we still have a couple of tries. Okay, I'm now going to be very, very careful to not accidentally right-click it. Oh, boy. Okay. Okay, we're at the surface and it's raining. Not ideal, but let's try this. Okay, it doesn't work. Great. Let's just do this then. Great. Blaze burner. Cool. My curiosity got the best of me. I'll find more rune stones for the others to get started on magic. Okay, we'll place this down here, and now it's heated. Or, sorry, not heated. Heatable, I guess let's say that. Originally, I thought we could just move this blaze burner back and forth, since finding another blaze was very painful. But yeah, I didn't know that this method existed, so... Well, now it's here. And I guess it's just deploy, not right click, so... Yeah, anyway. But yeah, that is chapter 1 basically done. There's this welcome that we still haven't ticked off for some reason. And this is just a little tip for growing mineral, making sure that there is a 5 by 5 by 15. I'm assuming 15 is the height. Make sure it all grows. And I think that's it. That's chapter 1. Let's just collect all of the rewards. Get a whisk, block of iron, propeller. Okay, artificer's bag, saw blade, and brass hand. That might be a... Yeah, okay, that's a quest from the magic chapter, that's why. Oh yeah, one last thing. The eternal saw. We need to have 64 silver coins. So I guess it's not complete yet, but basically complete. Alright, just some minor improvements. I have replaced this with a depot, so it hopefully doesn't despawn. And I've also made another mechanical press to replace stone that we stole before for that. Just a couple of minor improvements to this fluid setup. I'm going to increase the capacity for this tank because we're gonna have a lot more mineral resin because we are not doing anything with this, unlike with the regular resin, which we are compressing into rubber. The other thing I also want to make is a fluid valve, as well as the corresponding valve handle to open and close this thing, because we may or may not want to use resin for other things, not always to be pressing into rubber. So if we just place this over here, we can have our valve, and then we can turn this on or off. Not entirely sure how to tell whether it's on or off. Okay, time to ponder this, because I'm not entirely sure how it works. Oh, okay, so it is on the shaft, not on this thing. Not entirely sure what that thing is for. I guess that's the indicator. Okay, so let's rotate this thing like so. Oh, it's still facing the wrong way. Okay, maybe I just have to use the wrench for this. Okay, let's give the wrench a try. Still not going where I want it to go. Okay, there you go. After attempting to rotate this a lot of times, it's in the right direction now. Or actually, no, I prefer it this way so we can see it from here. There's a torch over there. Oh, and our valve went to the hopper. I was so confused. Okay, so now, I think if we rotate it one way, it will be open. Aha. And then if we rotate it the other way, with shift clicking, now it's closed. So if we wait for a bit, we should be seeing some resin go to here. And there you go. There's some resin stuck in there. And if we just right click this again, it's open and it's all in here. Cool. So that's how you do it. That's pretty cool. Let me just put a sign here for the mechanical saw input. And over here, there are the instructions to turn on and off the valve. Nice. So yeah, that's basically it for today's video. We got this fancy new area with the automatic resin going. That'll be useful for rubber as well as the other great stuff like the Andesite Alloy. We also got this deployer set up now, so we will be able to use those recipes and importantly create the Kinetic Mechanisms the proper way. But yeah, it's exciting that we are finally out of the very early game of this mod pack. We have this basic crate set up and hopefully we'll be doing more crate stuff soon. So yeah, I'm excited for what the future holds. It might not be directly crate, we might be doing some maintenance work before we move on. But I hope you enjoyed today's video. Have a good rest of your day and as always, God bless.